Jackson sitting next to the Jones Street boys. We've got the Moon Runners right by the Van Cortlandt Rangers. Nobody is wasting nobody. You're standing right now with 9 delegates from 100 gangs, and there's over 100 more. 60,000 soldiers. Now the race for 20,000 police in the whole town. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Environment around you because it wants you to liberate it by giving it the keys and the nourishment that can make it grow and illuminate. You getting this? So what will happen is it will actually reject the physical body. And so everything around you will repel from you. You see, and you won't understand what is happening, why your jobs, why all this, and why all this here, and why I can't seem to do this, and why I'm a failure, and all of this, and you can't understand what the hell is going on. It is going on for the simple fact that your spirit's saying, I don't want that shit. I've been down here enough through many incarnations for the bullshit. So I just don't want another life. I came back down here to do a certain job. So until this damn nigga finds out, we will both have problems. To the point where as I will even bring him down to death so I can get the hell out of the body and just be a force myself. Your inward energy is making a hostile...
Shalissa Hamilton is talking about her 13-year-old son, Chris Anderson, who died Friday.
He was shivering real bad. It was uncontrollable.
She says he was so sick, they made a trip to the emergency room February 22nd. After doing labs for flu and COVID, he was diagnosed with an upper respiratory infection.
They just basically gave him Tylenol.
But Chris didn't get better.
That previous week, he really cooked me with this.
Had several other religions, the Osirian religion, the Amun religion. They came out of that. As they came out of that, you had the ancient Draconians that were still worshiping the mother and the son. The mother being the triple blackness of space that has the sun out of her south gate, the vagina. You see what I'm saying? Which is the first star in heaven, Sirius, which is the God that you know of. But God, the ancient word for God is El. And the word El also means God, but it means son. So the God that you worship up there is the son. That's the God. Yes, that's your father, but he's the son to the mother. The triple blackness of space. So you had a group of people that was worshiping the dragon and the dog. The dragon means the great mother Typhon. Her dog is the dog star that comes out of her south gate, this vagina. Now, you had the ancient people that was worshiping Soot Typhon. Soot, which means the star system Sirius, and Typhon mean the triple blackness of space in the constellation of Draco, that you get the word Draconian come from. Y'all with me? Yeah. Now, you had the Osirians and the Amons, the Amonans, or what you would call the people that worship Amun. They came up and basically their religion was one of the same. But instead of the great mother, they made a masculine principle of the great mother. You see what I'm saying? And then they still had the son, but the great mother becomes masculine. So now, you had a group of people that was still ancient and they was worshiping the great mother. As a result, you had the Osirians and the Amons turned on them. And as a result, they started writing in their mythology that those particular people were the devils. You see what I'm saying? Because they worshiped the mother. They became the devil. And everything in the feminine principle on down the lineage up to now has been evil. Even in your damn Bible, which is one of the most sexist documents on the planet that is forced, that is made the sexism the way it is. A lot of brothers document them, a lot of brothers document them not trusting women and women is evil based on the fucking Eve story, which is the most horrible story in the world. You see? And like I said before, Eve with the bone in ancient Hebrew lore means Rabboni. And Rabboni means master, so Eve means master. Master of Adam. You see what I'm saying? Master of Adam. Adam also is El, and Adam means son. And the mother has the son. Who is the master mason? This is the temple of God, Solomon's temple. Solomon is, oh yeah, I am black and comely. Solomon's temple is, this is Solomon's temple. The temple of God is your body, right? Now, who is the master builder? The woman, because she has the baby. So ain't no fucking thing as a man being the master mason. Now, unless he can have a baby, he's no master mason. There's only one master mason, and that's the woman. That's the real deal mystery school. You see what I'm saying? The real master, who is the master mason? The master mason is the one who builds Solomon's temple. You know masonry, you build a temple with bricks and mortar, whatever. And the temple is symbolic to your body. Who's the one who can build a temple? I can't build no temple. It's who's the master mason. The black woman is the master mason. That's why she didn't have to go into damn masonry. She was the master mason. She builds the autonomy of the body of God. The autonomy of the body of God. She builds the temple. She builds the tree of life in the Holy Kabbalah. She has it. You see what I'm saying? Now, when you get into the Holy Kabbalah, they don't show you this. You see the tree of life. Anybody else seen the tree of life? Raise your hand. Tree of life is these different spheres on this tree. I'll show you a picture. Let you know what I'm talking about. This is the Wake Holy Kabbalah. This is the tree of life. But if you can see, you see a man right there. But each one of these is the spirits of the man. What they don't show you is there's a certain spheres over the tree of life. It's called Ein Thar, which means the black woman. And she has the whole damn tree. But they cut that out and don't show you that. You see what I'm saying? The tree of life, see, means this is God supposed to be right here. She has God. The master mason is the black woman. What happened was, you had the ancient draconian,
which is maritime law. See, they send their people after you just as soon as you start to get some understanding, with the purpose of pulling you right back in to the system that you're trying to get out of, so that you'll never get the real truth, and so that you'll never escape the zoo that they've set up for us. They've even got people who will charge you your whole life savings to find out information that'll land you right in jail for fraud, with these dreams of becoming some instant millionaire, because some of them are just scammers and others are agents that are paid to take you down the wrong path. And like with everything else, they give you some truth so they can suck you into these traps that they've laid for you. And once you're in their trap, well, they trap you. So this video is going to get into some of those truths about these topics when it comes to maritime law, who it applies to, and what our real nationality is. But it's way too broad of a subject to really break down in just one video. So as a result, I'm going to do some private videos on the website that further get into these topics about nationality, maritime law, common law, the UCC, etc. So that way I can really just let go and I can say everything that I really want to say. One of the most important things to know is that you can't declare your nationality without first knowing who you really are and what your nationality really is. You also have to know who everyone else really is and what their nationalities are, or none of this is going to end up working out for you. For this reason, these videos that I'll put out on the website are only going to be available to people who have already read the entire video book. And this is only because there's absolutely no point in declaring your nationality or discussing the UCC, nationality, or any of these topics at all if you don't first know who you are. It's like trying to learn calculus before you've learned algebra. It doesn't work. Because when it comes to these topics, it all has to do with your status. And we'll get into status shortly. There's basics that you have to understand before you can get into the rest of it. I used to get heavily into nationality on Facebook years ago and built up a nice sized following by doing so. But I quickly realized that almost no one knows what's really going on when it comes to these subjects. Not even most of the experts. I mean, even the experts with good intentions will put you right back into the system. So that's what prompted me to even write the book in the first place. So many people want to learn the stuff that's going to get them all these benefits that they hear about, that's going to take them out of the system. But there's so much more that you have to learn first before you can really get started. And there's others who want to learn all of this stuff without learning the basics first. But you got to start on level 1. You can't skip the first levels. And those levels have to do with knowing who you really are and who everyone else really is. And you got to know the details about this. You just can't know in general. There's a lot of details that are specific to these subjects that you have to know in order to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. You have to know who you are and who everyone else in the world really is before you can get into nationality at all, before you can get into UCC or any of these other topics, which include our estates that have been hidden from us. Because if you don't, you're just going to end up getting yourselves into some serious problems. And they make it sound so good too. I mean, they make it sound great. And they feed off of your greed and your impatience. See, they want to start you off with the dreams that they're selling. They'll tell you that you don't have to pay taxes, that you don't have to deal with the police anymore, that they can't lock you up anymore. And there's a lot of truth to what they say. Some of them will even tell you that your social security number is the key to millions of dollars. And you can use it as a checking account. And I mean, they'll have you ready to empty your whole bank account out just to get this knowledge that they're talking about. But the thing is that they've got a lot of deceptions out there. And a lot of you already know they charge a lot of money to teach these things, right? It's going to cost you a fortune, a small fortune, to learn these things. So before you go out and spend your life savings on the many courses that are out there that promise to take you out of the system, make you untouchable with the police, make it so you can own your property and can't nobody mess with it, and you don't have to pay taxes, and you can get rich, and the first thing you have to do before you do any of this, and there's no way around this, is you have to know who you are, and you have to know who everyone else really is. You have to do that. And again, why is this important? Because what almost none of them will tell you is that the things that they talk about, first of all, they don't even apply to everybody. They don't even apply to some of the people who are out there teaching it. And like I said, they've got these agents out there that you also have to watch out for. And there's just a lot of misinformed people out there who teach these types of subjects. The teachers are misinformed. Some of them got good intentions, some of them don't. And a lot of them will see how much money they can make off of this information. And it's hard times out there. And some people just see it as a come up. Some of them are out for the money. Some of them just don't know. And some of them are actual paid agents that will purposely give you some truth. But they only use partial truths to bait you in. And then they purposely lead you to some wrong conclusions that could be devastating for you. And after you've been hooked, they end up putting you right back into the system. That you thought you was getting out of, and you don't even know it. And then you wonder why you see them getting locked up, And you wonder why you see they stuff don't work. Well, it's because it all starts with your status and knowing who you are. And again, even if you do know who you are, that doesn't mean that all or any of this even applies to you. So we're going to get into some history when it comes to these topics, and we'll get into some of the basics so that you can get a solid understanding or a solid foundation of what's really going on. That way you can start off on this path with a strong foundation when it comes to these topics, and you'll start heading in the right direction. You won't get caught up in the process. Because I don't want to see any of you getting caught up. I don't want to see any of you in some bad situation and going broke trying to get out of the system. And it's better to learn these things now than when you need it. Because if you start learning when you need it, it's too late. It's too late. And don't get me wrong, there's many real benefits when it comes to these topics. It's just you got to be real careful out there. And it starts with your status and knowing who you really are. There's 0 point in getting into any of this if you don't know who you are and who everyone else really is. There's no point. You're just going to be wasting your time. But before we get started, if you haven't already, but you watch the videos on the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel. It helps us spread the word faster. And it helps us get this information that we're putting out to the people in a more efficient and effective way. Also, if you like the video, make sure to give it a like for the same reason. Hit that like button real quick right now before you forget, because it helps us get the word out faster to more people.
Peace. I see a lot of people up in arms, or at least feeling some type of way about this. Them digging up the street that said Black Lives Matter, and I don't know, maybe it might be a ploy or something like that. Maybe it might be, but I will always tell you who you are. Now, I'm not trying to tell you, but I will always inform you of your past and who your people are. Now, if you believe me, it's on you. It's not on me, it's on you. If you believe me, it's on you. Our people are not black. Our people are not Negro. Our people are not colored. We are the ancient Berbers. We are the Moors, Moroccan, Al-Morak. But on this side, before the Great Flood, you can travel across the sands to get here. Before the Great Flood, you could get here and you didn't have to take no water. After the Great Flood, that's when everything changed. And then we had other brotherhoods, we had other organizations, we had other governments come into power. And these governments are the Christian church. Like you're going to see in the video I did previous, right before this, you are under occupation. You've been told that you're not something that you are. And after that time period, they've been fooling you into thinking that you are something that you are not. So They keep calling you Negroes and blacks and coloreds. But as you'll see from the Negroes Act, that they basically turned Indians into Negroes in South Carolina. And then all the other states started following right behind that and turning Indians, those in amity. And those in amity just mean those that weren't warring against the state governments at the time, or the several states, or the 13 colonies, or the 13 prisons, the guild houses, the places where they sent the Europeans, those that mocked our people, those that tried to maraud over our people, those that tried to steal and kidnap our people that were in England. They sent them over here to the prison over here. Because we had this thing set up. The Bible talks about it. Judges talk about it. The Book of Ruth talks about it. It's talking about America. Finally figuring this out. And this is deep. I mean, this is so deep science. Like the Book of Mormon talks about it. We're talking about over here. This is the old world. And they've been fooling you and lying to you, giving you a modern history that is not real. From Reconstruction on, they've been burning books. They've been destroying our history. And you can only find certain terms and keys like where you're like, okay, that's our people, but they made sure, well, they almost made sure. Because see, you can't destroy stone that much, right? You gotta it really takes a lot of effort to destroy stone, especially in monuments that you can't find or artifacts that you can't find. Because we got all of them over here. You can't destroy a whole pyramid. You could try to bury a mound. You could try to build over a castle. You could try to take over and just renovate a sultanate. You could take over one of our Masonic lodges and turn it into a city hall. You could do all kinds of things. The issue is that you got people operating in different statuses in this country, and our status is actually white. Your status is actually white. So-called black people. And white falls under first class state citizen. And then you talk about Moorish Americans fall under the same status. Protected peoples. You are protected by nationality and international laws. This government respects international laws, but they don't respect refugees. They don't respect indigenous people that don't have a nationality or a flag or a creed or anything else. They only respect people that fly a flag in this country. If you have a constitution, the Moors in this country are recognized as a religious bona fide organization, ecclesiastical, Jural Society. Now you have many people that will tell you this organization is fraudulent, but it's not that the organization is fraudulent, it's that most people don't have the proper understanding of what is being done. There's different organizations. Some of them are not in the temple per se, but the temple, even though I don't do nothing to me, but I'm just saying, the temple does not have a right to speak for those people that are not inside the temple. And you have other organizations, Masonic organizations, you have Moorish science organizations, you have people that were in the temple, or people that were taught by Noble or taught by one of the other students of Noble or one of the other grand sheiks of the temple. And then you also have offshoots. You have these offshoots that are acting, in fact, from my understanding, as a Jural Society. And these organizations are operating as civics organizations, as political or non-profit organizations. And these organizations are legitimate because you can come under certain titles and you can claim a certain history. But depending on which angle you come from is how strong your position is going to be. Because I will keep saying this and I'm going to keep saying it. We are under occupation. And any information that you possibly see on the news, on the media, is most likely doctored. Meaning that they had their high magicians make sure that script was perfect first. They want you to doubt who the Moors are, because the whole idea of them is based in like this mystery. It's like we all be going against them. We didn't go against the government. We is part and parcel of the government. First class citizens, right? But of what USA though? Of what union? Huh? Which one? See, there's intricacies, but if you don't understand or overstand or understand, however you want to say it, if you do not get what's going on, the game that they're playing with you, you will admit jurisdiction. The game is crazy, y'all, and you better be careful out here, because they will have you thinking that you are a subject citizen, that you are a subject. It's crazy. It's a crazy game, because then you have people that are federalized, and then you got people that are union state, then you got people that are nationals. Like if you see any nationals are even in a higher status than citizen, but they fall along the same lines. And you'll find out who real quick who the nationals are, who the American nationals are. Certain people, let me say it like this. You got your state and we got ours. And I need my people to understand that you already have a state that's been waiting for you, to come along and join it. But the state is in the temple. The temple is a political organization. I don't care what nobody say, because that was the purpose in which Noble Jural started the headship. It's ecclesiastical law. It's a governing body, a Jural Society. We should be ruling ourselves, but how do we rule ourselves? With ecclesiastical law. If we God's people, why are we not using God's law? Think about it, y'all. Think about it. Think on it. Because I see the Hebrew Israelites in New York, bro. I mean, the ox here and the ox in New York, I know it's something about living in Philadelphia. It's something about living in the first capital. It's something about this. It's a vibration. It's something here, because freedom, man. We don't play about this freedom here. We don't play. You go in different parts of the city, like, people do not play about stepping on their rights. And I go other places, they be like, "Oh no, you can't do this, you can't do that." I'll be like, "Man, what?" I'm an Indian on this land, bro. What you talking about? And for all the Moors talking about Moors not Indians, that don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. Because Indians are the tribe of bands of the Pueblos, a nation that was in this land long before. All right? So we're Indian. Like, that's legal. That's the law. That's the definition of an Indian. Tribe. Of a tribe. It's the Pueblos, the nation, all that. There you go. There you go. So I don't want to hear that. It's a lot of misinformation, disinformation among the people in the temple and out in the street, or whatever, street Moors, temple, whatever you want to call it. We need to stop this division. That's what I'm about, stopping division. We got to come together on something. Instead of just saying, "Oh no, y'all causing confusion." Like, bro, can you come up with something new? Can you come up with something new, please? Because it seems to me it hasn't been a proper understanding going on, or people have been running scared. I mean, like, bro, like Malcolm got shot in his head for y'all to be out here acting like, like this ain't really like real life serious. It's not dead serious out this Jake. It's real serious. But we got to stand on business. We got to start making demands to the government. And I'm not talking about anything with violence. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about with the pen, with the sword. You know that pen, baby? We need to start negotiations. We need to start operating as we've been operating. Because, bro, like, if you know about all the different organizations, I'm gonna get something for you. All the different Philadelphia organizations where they exercise their ecclesiastical rights, their ecclesiastical law, inalienable rights. Really? I mean, not just in saying it, because it's enumerated. But when you exercise those rights, it's a big difference. People scared of you, man. I'm telling you, they scared of you. They don't know how to take you because you're serious about yours. Most people not serious in this life about anything. If you're saying you're Hebrew, you're Israelite, stand on business. Stand on that book. That book is your law. Your law you gave to these fools to civilize them. Turn them into something better. I know you feel it in your spirit when you see them and you wonder why they like the way they are. Gods among men, children of the Most High Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. They are our progeny. They should follow our laws, not the other way around. Only laws that rule us are the biblical laws. The Quran, the good books, the precepts. Live by your laws, by God's laws, a law. Give man, give Rome what is Rome's. Stop living by their rules. Because they just rules, not God's laws. You gotta stop acting. It's a lot of acting going on. Today's prom. Say we supposed to dress in costume, and I ain't in costume. I'm in my regalia. I ain't acting. You gotta stop acting, Israel. Be who you say you are. When I walk these streets, I get the respect that is due. They know who we are. Move on it. I'm telling you, you're going to be surprised. You're going to get shocked. More people know who you are. You start rocking them yarmulkes. You start rocking your kufis. You start rocking your fezzes. You start rocking your turbans. These are all our garbs. All of them. You start wearing them again. You're going to see a difference in people's whole demeanor, how people treat you. But act accordingly. Because we're here to judge, but we're not here to be evil. We're here to love. We have a saying, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. That's what we live by. And the law of the great God of law. And the articles and constitutions and bylaws, the Moorish Science Temple of America. These laws are simple and regulate our day-to-day and regulate our jural society. Making us better people, human beings and citizens of this great nation. Be careful out here. Join the temple. And move with the temple. Move as a temple. See too much division, too much confusion. And they'll tell you it's you causing confusion. No, it's confusion because we don't have proper leadership. I want to see the days when they just start throwing out, when they was giving everybody a temple card, because we need people in the temple. We need the balls again. We need the grand balls. We need the grand body to come together and speak to the people with love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Had the mamas out walking the streets, bringing the sisters into the temple. Like, what's going on? I mean, I see what's going on, but from what I'm reading about what the prophet brought, that's not what's being brought. But, you know, everything takes time. Because I'm not perfect. I can do so much more. But that's only with permission of those higher up. Because if we're not able to have auxiliaries, at least where we can set up our own subordinate temples so that we can reach the youth, because y'all not going to reach them. Y'all not going to reach them. And there's so many youth out there, so many soldiers ready. They need to be initiated though. Because it's hard finding out who you are and not knowing how to deal with it. It's hard when sometimes you come into the temple and you don't have anything. It's hard when brothers expect so much from you when you don't know how to be a man. It's hard. We need love. It's like the sister said, we do need love. We need to be hard, but we need love too. Peace.